Hi guys, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel, Guy with a Plant. In today's episode, I'm going to propagate this Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. This plant has been with me for a while now, I think almost 1 year, and it has grown from a small specimen to this current lush trailing plant. But before I take cuttings out of this, I'll need to repot it first because check this out. The roots are overgrown and I think there is not enough potting medium to support this plant with all the roots going crazy. So definitely I need to give it a repot before I propagate it because I do not want to stress this plant further. And this is definitely a sign of something is wrong. I have been watering this pretty regularly, not over watering it, but yet it's been giving me yellow leaves. I think there's another one here. Yeah, so I think it's not getting enough nutrients. And the leaves get curled up much faster than before. Previously, I can water this every 10 days and it will do fine. But now even after watering this, on the 3rd or 4th day, it starts to curl up. But as you can see, it's still giving me a lot of new growth, new leaves. So I know it's still pretty healthy. Okay, let's take this out of the pot. I think I've just watered this like 3 days ago and it's looking really thirsty. Yeah, I can see some roots picking up from the drainage holes. When I first got this, I think it only had maybe like 5 to 6 leaves. I remember it was a really small specimen. Whoa, look at this. It's super root bound. Okay, I think I got to take a photo for the Instagram. So no wonder it's not looking very happy. Now we know the reason. Okay, I'm going to give you a slightly bigger pot. I think this should be enough. And I'm going to give this an aerobic mix that's very well draining and loose. So this is all the potting medium that it has. No wonder it's looking really thirsty. I'm going to put some cocoa chips at the base to block out the drainage holes. I got a feeling that I got to repot this again in no time. Okay, I've reported this, so I shall see you again in maybe 2 weeks' time to let this Scindapsus settle in, and then I'll get some cuttings. Guys, welcome back. I can't believe it has been 8 months since I reported this Scindapsus. It was only supposed to be 2 weeks after I've reported it and to get some cuttings, but talk about procrastination. Today is the 23rd of September. Yeah, it's exactly 8 months. Okay, I'm going... It's crazy, I know. I'm finally going to get some cuttings of this Exotica. Let's take a look. It has grown quite a lot, but I've lost some of the older leaves, the bigger leaves. As you can see now, is a little bit sparse at the top, but it has grown some new vines, and of course the lower leaves are smaller, way smaller, because they are not given a pole. I'm going to untangle this to let you have a look. Okay, everything is untangled. Let's take a look how many vines are there. First two, okay, these two are really long and quite leafless. As you can see, there are nodes and adventitious roots, but not many leaves. So super leggy. The third one is this shorter one. Also only got 2 leaves. Fourth. And okay, this really short one. Fifth. And lastly, the sixth one. Not very long as well, but has a lot of aerial roots and nodes. So I think I can get a lot of cuttings from this. I'll start off with these 2 longer vines first. As you can see, this one is very long but pretty leafless. But what I can do is to cut between the nodes and do some wet sticks propagation. Take note, you need to have a node with an aerial root to make it a viable wet stick. Okay, I'm just going to put those leafless vines aside. Okay, the second one. Yeah, I just want to get it over with the longest vine so that they don't get in the way. Smells really good and fresh. Okay, going to start with the third one. This is pretty short, but it has a lot of adventitious roots. Look. Okay, I'm going to leave this bunch as one because there's a lot of aerial roots here. So what I'm going to do is to just pack this up with some sphagnum moss. Yeah, and see whether it will root nicely. Okay, this is another very nice looking vine. So this will be the last one to cut. Okay, so this is how the parent plant looks like after a haircut. Still has a lot of very nice leaves. In fact, it has most of the biggest leaves. Okay, I'm going to cut off the leafless vine to make it into wet sticks. Going to chop this up. Okay, so I have this pile of cuttings. I think I have about 23, 24. And there is this one big branch here. So I think it's about 25 cuttings. And I have some wet sticks here as well. I've got to make sure that each stick has a viable node and preferably with some root, some aerial root. So I try not to leave too much material at the both ends because I don't want it to rot. And I can put all this into moss. I do have success with perlite, but unfortunately I don't have any perlite at the moment. So I'm just going to put it in moss first and see how it goes. Okay, for the cuttings, I'm going to divide them up and put it into 3 different media as usual: water, moss, and this time round I'm going to use vermiculite because I have success with vermiculite to propagate my Cebu blue, Propagation Cebu blue. So I'm going to try that again this time. Okay, I realized I don't have too many containers that I'm able to put these cuttings into. I only managed to find this few. These are ones without any holes at the bottom. So I can only use this for water and vermiculite, but as for the moss, I think I will just use a nursery pot or this terracotta pot. These are some recycled moss which I'm going to use. Okay, make sure you squeeze out all the excess water in the moss. You don't want it to be very wet, just moist. Let me take a look which are the cuttings that will go into moss. Okay, this is one pot with sphagnum moss. I hope there's not too many cuttings. Okay, next I have 3 cups of water here. And yeah, let's see which are the cuttings that will go into this. I think they should root well in water. Okay, so these are the ones that are in water. Okay, the next rooting medium is this vermiculite. So like I mentioned, it was really good with the Cebu blue. So let's see if this works for the Scindapsus as well. I'm just going to pour a little bit into this terracotta pot. I'm going to put the rest of the cuttings in. So these are the cuttings in vermiculite. I've given it some water so it's moist. Actually, for the last batch, I have this pretty big bunch which has already very good adventitious roots. So I think I can just pot this immediately in some potting medium. Okay, I'm going to use this mixture of aeroid mix with some cocoa peat. I think this pot is a little bit too big, but yeah, it's okay. Alright, so this is a branch that's been potted directly into an aeroid mix. What I'm going to do is, once these are rooted, the ones in water and vermiculite or moss, I'm going to pot them into this so that you make a much fuller pot of Scindapsus. Okay, for the leafless wet sticks, I'm just going to put it in my propagation box. This is a prop box for some of my Hoyas, which I think they should be rooting in pretty soon. So there's still a lot of space here. So I'm just going to put the wet sticks inside and hopefully they will root, because I don't have much experience with rooting wet sticks in a propagation box. Some I did it, most of them had rotten away, so I'm not sure whether it's that too moist. Alright, so these are all the cuttings. This is the parent plant. Have some in water, I think 3 cups of water, in sphagnum moss, 1 in vermiculite, and the last one that's been potted up immediately into potting medium, aeroid mix. And all the wet sticks have gone into this propagation box. So I'll update you guys on the progress in 2 months' time. I would have preferred to update everything in the same video, but I think this video has been dragging for way too long since January of this year. So if you want to watch part 2 of the growth update, do remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Meanwhile, take care. I shall see you again in my next video. And remember to show your plants some love.